not. Hey, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, folks. It is the one, the only V, the Gorilla, the thriller, not from Manila, with my main man, Algo, Cowboy, working the airwaves, making sure the airwaves, making sure the broadcast coming out crispy and clean. You know what I mean. Check us out, Rogue News, roguenews.com. Follow us on Twitter at ESW Rogue News, ESW Rogue News. As we transition like a person with many pronouns, but there's the only pronoun we do is, I don't know what a pronoun is, man. What's our pronoun as a company? I have no idea. We are, I don't know.
A pronoun, it's a noun, but
I know what
it's gotten a license now, so it went to school to be a professional.
I guess our pronoun is create your own free world. There it is. That's our pronoun. Create your own free world. Because you're going to have to, folks. You're going to have to. And I don't know if you guys heard this, but I've been livid since yesterday, maybe this morning. I have no idea, Cowboy. When did this news break?
It broke, as far as I know, it was yesterday, I think. It might have been yesterday, day before. It's pretty recent. I mean, it's got a lot of people very upset.
I have this great video from Memology. He's awesome. He does really good stuff. For those that don't know, I don't know if you know this, but Jeffrey Epstein did not kill himself. He died of natural causes. Oh, no, I'm sorry. He did kill himself. Nobody murdered him. There was no client list, okay? There was no client list. So he trafficked people to and from himself. You know, he trafficked nobody to nobody, okay? In fact, that whole trafficking thing was a figment of your imagination, guys. It was a figment of your imagination. It never happened. Okay, it never happened. You were just imagining it. Forget the fact, for the last several years, all we've been hearing is about the client list. The client list, the client list, the client list. Forget the fact that we've been hearing for several years at this point that, no, the cameras were malfunctioning. The cameras didn't work, and the jail guards, the prison guards fell asleep. And now all of a sudden, when there was no video a few months ago, Cash Patel, who looked like he is being held hostage, and I had to say to myself, Cash, blink twice if you're okay, Cash, blink twice. And then Don Bongino, who looks like somebody put a gun to his wife's head. Dan Bongino, blink twice, brother. Let me know if you're okay. They both came out. And they're like, yeah, I saw the video. Wait a minute. You saw the video that Jeffrey Epstein, nobody killed him. He killed himself. He died of suicide. Really? You saw the video? You saw the video. Really? When you told us for several years that you had no video. The video cameras were not working, but all of a sudden the video cameras worked and you saw the video, and that was that. And now the rumors are circulating, Cowboy. They're going to release some sort of video. And it could be a pixelated video, a somewhat censored video. But we have to believe them that Jeffrey Epstein did, in fact, kill himself in a maximum security prison in the middle of Manhattan while on suicide watch. He did kill himself. Absolutely. Even though the coroner says to break the hyphoid bone in his neck is impossible from the type of hanging that they want us to believe. Okay? Oh, yeah. Don't believe your lying eyes, folks. Don't believe your lying eyes. Don't believe your lying brain. You imagined it. You imagined it. This is a new type of Orwellian, beyond Orwellian levels of propaganda and bullshit. I'm so disgusted by this government. I'm so disgusted at what is happening. I'm disappointed in this administration. Let me bring up that video real quick, just to refresh some of your minds, just so your brain could be refreshed, and you will know what we're talking about here very succinctly. Here we go. A walk down memory lane, folks. Here we go. Right there. You all remember that? You all remember that? Pam Bondi, every single Fox News. Pam, the deep state Bondi. Pam, I do the services of the deep state. Pam, I am a cover-up artist like my predecessor before me and my predecessor before that. Bill Barr. Bill Barr. Bill the redacted Barr. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Here's Pam Bondi. The U.S. Attorney. The Epstein client list, folks, is sitting on her desk. It's sitting on her desk.
Pam, blink twice, Bondi.
Blink twice, Pam. Blink twice.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president from all of these agencies.
What? Did you hear that correctly, Cowboy? Are my
looks like
ears
she's
lying to me?
I just don't like the way she's saying this. If somebody were, I don't know, dude. Either she's lying now or she's lying before.
Brother, we all know it is right now part of the social lexicon at this point. It's part of pop culture at this point that Jeffrey Epstein did not kill himself, that there is a client list. If there's a flight log, there's a client list. You had women coming out there saying, yo, I've been one of several girls stuck on the island. I've been raped repeatedly. They're very prominent and powerful people. And we knew right then and there when Epstein was caught, immediately out of nowhere, men in black showed up at his island and scrubbed the fucking place clean. We knew immediately that all the tapes were missing. All the documents were gone. And we knew that this whole thing was a cover-up operation. We know about Epstein and his ties to Mossad. Cowboy, why is it I can't throw a rock into every sort of nefarious, vile, evil, corrupted, globalist, satanic, Luciferian agenda without hitting that country, that little strip of land in the Middle East? How come I can't do that, Cowboy?
Oh, because the American people are asleep.
And then Diddy's about to walk. He's about to put so much baby oil all over his body. He's about to walk through the bars like he's the T-1000, brother, in the Terminator 2 movie. He's about to go right through the bars. He's got so much baby oil on him. Because we know, look, here's the deal. We know who ran Epstein. We know who runs Diddy. We know where who he's connected to. We have an idea. We know the industry that he's controlling. We have an idea. James Comey's daughter was the prosecutor on the Diddy's case. James Comey's daughter is the prosecutor on the Epstein case. Come on, you can't make this up, man.
So have you seen anything that you said, oh my gosh?
Not yet.
Oh boy, here's how it's going. Look at that. You stupid Americans. We're all stupid Americans. We stupid Americans, we actually thought there was a client list. There was no client list. Did you know that, Cowboy? He didn't traffic to anybody.
I think if the right people want there to be a client list, and even if there was no client list, there would be a client list. I think we're living in the world of who's the asshole who's like, well, we was it Christopher Ray? Reality is what we say it is.
Yeah, reality was what we say it is. Christopher Ray, and then it was Karl Rove.
Yeah, okay, some asshole.
Karl Rove said that. Reality is what we say it is. Fat, balding, boomer Karl Rove. Yes. But look at this, Cowboy exclusive. President Trump's Department of Defense. This must be 10D chess, and we're just not getting it here, Cowboy.
50D, bro.
50D chess.
Yeah. 5,000 million D chess.
Oh, my God. It's so much chess, it's Connect 4 at this point, folks. It's Connect 4. Because we could all connect the dots, but they think we're stupid. They literally are this brazen. They think we're dumb. They think we're dumb. I mean, they're insulting our intelligence at this point, Cowboy.
Oh, it's tic-tac-toe.
Oh, yes. It's a 5D tic-tac-toe. That's what it is. President Trump's Justice Department and the FBI have concluded they have no evidence that Jeffrey Epstein blackmailed powerful figures, kept a client list, or was murdered, according to a memo detailing and findings obtained by Axios. Really? So the only way we know, why the hell did Lex Wexner, and the Wexners are somebody that Velas is very familiar with, why the hell did the Wexners give this guy a $77 million townhouse in Manhattan? That was the only known address here in New York. Really? Wexner? Victoria's Secret? No, there was no trafficking. There was no trafficking. Prince Andrew, pedophile, no trafficking. Several other powerful people connected. But no trafficking. Bill Clinton there 29 times. Well, I personally like to go down to Jeff Epstein's island because I told Hillary one time, I said, hey, Hillary, I like Jeff a lot. And I tell you right now, he's got some fantastic pineapples and he's got a great bevy of beautiful, maybe women. I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure, but I love it down to Jeff's. Jeff's Island's got the best waves. And you know me, man, I like to surf. And when I surf, I just like to go and hang out with Jeff because Jeff's such a cool guy. Jeff's such a cool guy. Yeah. Bill Clinton, 29 times. The damn plane was euphemistically called the Lolita Express. But there was no trafficking. There was no trafficking, Cowboy. Lolita Express. Bill Gates, that disgusting piece of shit. I would love to strangle him to death, but that's another story in another time. Bill Gates. What is Bill Gates? His wife, or who looks like a man, his wife divorced him because he was on the Epstein list several times. So at one point, all these global elitists were all panicking and sweating bullets about Epstein and his list. So if they're acting real nervous, they're all panicking, from Bill Gates to Bill Clinton to Prince Andrew to so many others. The fruit knob from France who was on that list, was like a fashion designer. I forget his name, Jacques Pierre, whatever the hell his name is.
Yeah, who's that guy up in Canada? I can't think of his name right now. Sitting at the table with those women talking about impregnating them.
Oh shit! I forgot.
What was his name?
Right. Yeah, him too. Seagram's fortune.
Yeah.
Right, all that stuff. The Axiom occult. Right, all of them connected to Epstein. All of them, but there was no trafficking. They're all sweating bullets. Keith Rainier of Axiom, the cult that was doing the whole sex trafficking and stuff. All of them connected to Epstein with the Seagram fortunes. All these elites connected, sweating bullets. They're all percolating.
Peter Nygaard.
Worried about a list coming out, and now all of a sudden, there's no list. There's no list. There's no list. Yeah, Nexium. Thank you, Short Bus Mooner. Nexium. Yep, Nygaard. That's the guy's name. There's no list.
Is that you? Are you playing music?
No, it's the thing. It's the video. No evidence.
We've been tricked. We've been backstabbed. And we've been quite possibly bamboozled.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Bamboozled. Lied to. All of it.
Well, I'll tell you what. They called this in the Devil's Advocate when the 5D tic-tac-toe. They knew that tic-tac-toe was going to be the calculus. Did you know that?
No,
Did you watch Devil's Advocate with Al Pacino?
One of my favorite movies.
Yeah, they called it. They I'll put the scene up right now. Hold on. Okay, there you go. Here goes. Ready?
Mm-hmm. Here's a chicken. Plays tic-tac-toe, never loses. He's famous. And go Sensei. Never loses like you.
Tic-tac-toe.
Tic-tac-toe.
Just joking.
That's the freaking deep state.
That's the deep state. A chicken that plays tic-tac-toe and never loses.
You know, Elon is launching the America part. I think it's high time, dude. I'm so sick of this shit show charade. You know, and I agree. Shelley Thomas, 100%. There is no doubt. If anybody has seen, and pull up that Shelley Thomas quote real quick, man.
I got some stuff to say that's going to piss you off.
Yeah, there it is. Shelley Thomas. Jeffrey Epstein was extracted from prison. That is correct. I've seen, if anybody takes the time to look at the picture of him on the gurney when they took his body out of the cell that he was locked up in, and you look at that gurney, you look at that face, the ears and the nose does not match any known picture and or description of Jeffrey Epstein. So he very much well could be alive. Absolutely, I believe it. I believe he is alive. I believe that what's his name? The guy who's a head of Enron, Ken Lay. I don't think Ken Lay ever died. We are straight up clowns, man. We are straight up clowns, bro. I can't take this country seriously.
Did you think that 80 years of influence and, you know, CIA stuff and Mossad and everything was going to be undone in 1 year?
I don't think it's ever going to be undone. I had hope. I had a 50% hope.
Well, okay, let's just pretend for a moment that it can be undone. Do you think that this list and what it is, right? If they release that list, the kind of people involved and implicated could go way higher than we ever dreamed. And there's a lot of things we have to think about. In this particular case, and I'm going to channel my inner Velas. First of all, I'm going to ask the audience a question here. Are you upset? Just go ahead and put 1 in the comment section if you're upset. V, I know you are. It's okay. But everybody in the audience, type 1 if you're upset. I don't see any typing. Of course, I know there's a delay. Okay, nobody's upset. That's awesome. All right, so here's the deal. Okay, Koob's upset. I know Koob. Understandable. Nino's upset. We got a lot of 1s. Rob's like me. I don't care. I mean, I care. Okay, so everybody's upset. Guess what? You're supposed to be upset. You're supposed to be upset right now. You know? Now, you don't want to be somebody who, like, doesn't care. Because I say I don't care. It's not true. I care. Lisa Gray is 6, so she's as upset as 6 people, I assume. But how do I say this? Okay, so let's just say for a moment that we do have a chance at getting rid of the bad guys, or at least really severely depowering them, right? And then something like this happens. What does it do? What does it cause you to do? Does it cause you to say, F this, I don't care anymore? Because guess what? If you're saying, F this, I don't care anymore, what are you not doing? You're not fighting. So all these years of fighting, are you giving it up? Because maybe that was the design. They didn't have to say there's no list. They could have just let it fade into nothing. They could have just no longer addressed the list. They could have just been like, this is the list is, I don't know. We'll look into it later. They could have done a redacted. They could have slow walked this thing into oblivion. And then 78 years later, when nobody cares and everybody's dead, 2% of the list comes out, right? So they could have done that, which is what they do when they want stuff to go away. This isn't that. This is, let's fucking piss everybody off so we demoralize them. Do you want everybody in this audience to be demoralized? Because that's how you do it. That's how you do it. Yeah. Think about all the stuff that's gone on. All the money cut off from NED, the money cut off from USAID. All the deportations that are going to happen. Everything, right? Are we just going to forget all the progress we've made since Trump was elected? Is that what we're going to do just because of this? I mean, is that what we're going to do? Because that's probably what the plan was. Yeah. To just, screw it. We're done. We're not going to fight anymore. The Epstein list isn't going to happen. It's all fake. They're demoralizing you. You get upset, you give up, you're falling for it. You're going to ask yourself, are you going to fall for it? The other thing you have to think about, if that list were to be released, and again, channeling my my inner Velas here, look, it's not a left-right thing. And if you don't know that, listening to us by now, you're either new or you just, and I hate to say it, you're just fucking dumb. There's no left-right thing at that level. Those guys, those billionaires, they flip left to right like flipping a light switch. They don't care about the politics. They care about money and power. So think about this. The people whose names are on that list. Oh, Alex Jones said household names. Not really. I mean, sure, a lot of them probably are. A lot of them are probably people you've never heard of. You know why? Because the most powerful people tend to be people you've never heard of. Now, if those people get their names on that list soiled out, people die. People will die. Probably Trump and his grandkids will be erased from the genome. Like you're talking about pissing off very wealthy and powerful people. Bondi will die. Patel will die. All these people will probably die if they really do that. There is a point past which you cannot go in this version of the fight. Now, when those people have their money taken away over time and their power taken away over time in the way that we can do it without everybody dying, without them hitting the panic button and blowing up the world, then you can take them out. And then they'll be gone. That's it. But you really think you're going to upset the order that's been built for hundreds and hundreds of years in 1 year this way? It's not going to happen like that. And we just saw how it's not going to happen. And this business of there's no list, that's demoralizing you. Don't make the mistake. Don't fucking give up. Don't puss out. If you just give up now, you're pussing out. Right? That's my message. And there's more to say, but I'm going to leave it there.
What the right attitude for people to do is get pissed off, not puss out. That's the right attitude to do.
Yeah, be pissed. I've been pissed. I've been fucking pissed since 2011.
Yeah.
Right?
It's enough of the bullshit. It's about this time. I think Val's made a very good point here in the chat. FOIA. That's a great idea, right? Because this is without a doubt. I mean, like this one person in this Twitter thing said, it's intentional demoralization. There's no doubt about it. It's intentional demoralization. To me, this is you're trying to insult my intelligence, right? Now you're outright lying. Whatever the tactic is, this is a major. What is it? This is a major leverage. Having this list. I mean, here's a perfect thing. This person put this. This is Ian Smith Sr. from I know this guy. He's from Jersey. The FBI and the DOJ have concluded that there's absolutely nothing that you need to know about the Jeffrey Epstein saga. They personally watched 300 gigabytes of child pornography, but apparently in all the videos, nobody can be identified. And Epstein kept no list. They also want to let you know that under no uncertain circumstances was this a blackmail operation intimately linked to domestic and even more concerning international intelligence agencies as a political weapon to blackmail politicians into allowing subversive powers to bleed the country dry. No. That's what you need to focus on. Because irrespective of anything else, the Epstein thing is the tip of the iceberg, right? It's exactly why film compromised situations, not catch the faces of the people involved. Correct. You're going to, of course, catch the faces of the people involved.
Well, you can. So what you can do with that is you show that film to people and they know it's there. But then after a while, they might get brave again. So you release that film, but without the faces, just to give people the impression of, oh my God, they released my film. And then like they freak out for a while and then they realize their face isn't in it, but then they've had the freak out and it just calms them right down. So blackmail, and again, we really probably should have Velas in on this. This is not my deal. But Velas talks about blackmail being a currency, right? What happens when the blackmail gets used? That currency is now useless. If that blackmail were to all just come out all at once on a list, guess what they can't do with that blackmail? Anything. It's gone. And that blackmail is what's holding up probably our whole like Congress and the way Congress works and the way money flows and the way everything does everything.
This whole thing, the whole thing with Epstein, and I'll tell you what pisses me off the most here, and I'll link this back to the bigger picture. Epstein was the little crowbar, a tiny little crowbar that could have opened up a big Pandora's box of shit that the American public would have witnessed. Real meaningful change. You see, I'm tired of politicians going into power and you're cleaning up all the spider webs, but you're not killing the spider. That's what's happening again. Yeah, we're kicked a bunch of illegals out. Yes. That's great. But the spider is still there. If you think the illegals are the main problem, they're a symptom of the problem. But there's a bigger problem here, right? And the bigger problem is that this blackmail runs into every compromised person that's in the government right now in the United States. Not only in the government, but in very high levels of power in corporations and various other sources of media, so on and so forth. They get to live and breathe another day of freedom. That's problematic. They get to continue to do what they do, right? I'm not going to sit here in naivete thinking that there's some sort of agreement that's been done on the back end. We don't know. We can only guesstimate that, right? But all we can do is judge them by the fruits. So if there's no real big systemic change in the way the government operates, then we got a freaking problem here. We all know Epstein, Diddy, all of this is connected to Israel, Mossad, and CIA. We all know that. Probably Mossad more than anything else. CIA is a bunch of idiot dupes. And what occurs in this type of setup is the fraud continues. The criminality continues. And nothing gets done. It's not America. You can't be America first and then have continued corruption. You can't be America first and not a single person. Has anybody seriously been arrested here? Has anybody of any sort of repute, even at a mid-level, been arrested thus far? No.
You do the you often make a comparison with corruption to cancer, right? Mm-hmm. So I can't say that as well as you can, but you talk about the blood supply and all that. Can you kind of go down that road just for a moment?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a point where the tumor, and this analogy comes to me when I saw this documentary called "The Man with the World's Largest Tumor," and his tumor was so friggin' huge. You could probably Google this, and it was either a man or a woman. The tumor was like from the person's stomach all the way up to their chest. It was massive.
Excuse me, sir. If it was either a man or a woman, you are a bigot.
I am. I'm also racist. I'm also a supremacist or something. I'm a human supremacist. There it is. So this person had a massive tumor, and that tumor went from basically where their chest is at all the way down to their belly. It was literally weighing 120 pounds to the point where the person couldn't even function or move. And when the doctors had to cut that tumor out, they had to make sure and be very careful so as not to sever a blood supply. Otherwise, the patient would bleed out and die. And that is the most dangerous phase of a tumor. And that's where America is. We have a tumor that is corruption. We have a tumor that is the fucking deep state. We have a tumor that is a little sliver of a country in the Middle East that has infiltrated every aspect of who we are in terms of our foreign policy, in terms of our banking, in terms of what the hell we do. It's insane. And every single one of these factions, it's like Murder on the Orient Express. Who wants the guy dead? They all do. The Europeans, the Davos crowd, the City of London crowd, the Zionists, all of us, all of them want America dead. They all want America dead. And then what occurs? These tumor begins to create their own blood supply. And when they create their own blood supply, they are now a living entity, almost a very parasitic type relationship at that point. Now, to excise them, you have to excise them in a way so that you don't kill the patient. And that's what corruption is. And this Epstein thing, folks, would have been a wonderful scalpel cut. The first cut into the tumor. The first cut.
What if I told you that a full exposure of that list would have caused the patient to bleed to death?
The first what?
What if I told you that a full exposure of the Epstein list would have caused the patient to bleed to death?
I don't know. Here's the thing, and here's why I say I don't know. There's a way the administration could pull out the full list and show everybody and have this hypothetical where the whole system collapses. That's A. Or B, use it as leverage to bring certain people down without going forward with the list. You see what I'm saying? There's a way they can play both things where you can say there's a list, so on and so forth. That's number one. Number two, okay, here's the thing. Here's the other aspect of it, if we want to think of it this way. If we're having if the argument that we're having or the debate that we're having is if we put out the whole Epstein list, the entire system will implode. Folks, that's a problem in and of itself. In other words, if we're in a situation of we're damned if we do and we're damned if we don't, that shows you how fucked we are. That's a problem. That's not a good thing.
Well, let's for a moment exercise some pragmatism, and let's go down the path of damned if we're do and damned if we don't. How do we handle that? How, as individuals and as a group? Like in this group, we're interested in fighting against these people, certainly, but we're also individuals. So what would you recommend from a pragmatic standpoint about how to move forward?
I think Chris Newberry has a very good answer right there.
So I'd probably sooner move to China than Southeast Asia.
Yeah. I mean, there's no way that anybody's doing. There's two things that have happened. It has to be the end of the uniparty. And look, nothing I'm going to tell you guys is going to be peaches and cream and it's going to be comfortable. It's going to be painful and there's a lot of work involved. We actually create a third party, which Musk is doing. I'm not, 100% sold on Elon, but an opportunity for a third party to be disruptive is a powerful thing. This country used to have 154 political parties, folks. And you know what the most powerful political party was in the early 1700s, in the late 1700s, right after this country was established. You know what the most popular party was at that time? Do you know the name of it, Cowboy?
Was it the Republican Party?
No, dude. This is shortly after the country was founded.
Founded. Yeah. I don't know. What was it called?
It's called the Anti-Mason Party.
Ah, yeah.
The Anti-Mason.
Well, it's a bunch of Masons that created this country.
Well, exactly. So think about the Anti-Mason Party, right? So the whole point I'm trying to make is this: there was 154 political parties that were in this country. Now we just have 2, right? That's a problem. Bringing in a third party and start shaking things up is number one. Number two, whether the party actually wins huge elections or whatnot is irrelevant. What needs to occur is that it needs to go after the waste, it needs to go after the subterfuge, it needs to go after the blackmail. And people that are in it, not the person who created it, but the people that are in it should demand it, and the party should happen. That's where you get the real FOIA request. That's where you get a lot of the details out. That's a painful process. If we're a country where we can't bring the Epstein list up because it'll collapse the whole fucking system. Well, the system it's a shit show. The system is fake. It's not real. Let the whole fucking thing collapse. It needs to happen.
Be careful what you ask for.
No, dude, let the whole fucking thing go, bro.
Right? See, I'd like to see just a nice slow decline.
So would I. So would the Chinese. The Chinese would love a nice slow decline of the United States.
Yeah, why not? Decline's a decline.
As long as we're declining.
Well, we are.
But here's the thing: if we're going into, we are declining, right? But the whole point is this: when in the decline, on the other side of the decline, I don't want the same people to be in power. Do you see what I'm saying? You could have a decline. I'm all with the decline, but if we're coming out of a decline and a crash, and on the other side of the crash, it's the same assholes offering us the same solutions, that's a problem.
I don't know. I think a decline involves the evisceration of their power. They're never going to go away. They never went away. They've been around for 2,000, who knows how many thousand years. I'm not holding out hope that they're going to disappear.
So then I think it becomes an individual thing. I like what a lowrider said. David Robert Steele, may he rest in peace, former CIA analyst, said of right, Trump should promise a pardon all of the Congress if they come forward and say how they were blackmailed, and then they would vote how they really wanted to.
Yeah, pardoning somebody for touching a child's probably not going to go over that
it's not gonna go over well. That's right. There's 300 gigs of child porn the FBI watched, bro. And they couldn't. There's no list.
I don't think Trump's going to put his name on that pardon.
What this does, it kind of puts me on a back pedal where I says, okay, well, back to offshoring, back to looking at solutions, but the forefront of me, all right, the frontal part of my brain is like, okay, here's the deal. If this doesn't piss you off to start ripping through every single one of these incumbents and getting rid of voting every single one of them out, I don't know look, the only solution is this: every single American here has to get very civically minded and has to engage in politics. You might not be interested in politics, as the old saying goes, but politics is interested in you. That's what needs to happen. Yeah, if El Salvador could hold truth and reconciliation over horrible crap in Guatemala, Argentina, if someone was forced into a compromise with a kid, there are ways we can deal with. Wood chipper's too kind. Yeah, I don't know where to begin, man. It's a crazy thing. Liz, after thorough investigation, the FBI investigators concluded that Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide in his cell at the Metropolitan Correction Center in New York City on August 10th, 2019. The conclusion is consistent with the previous findings, including August 19th autopsy findings and the blah, blah, blah. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. The amount of people that are pissed right now is massive. Massive. Where does the country go from here, man? I'm not sure. Not sure. But this just pisses off a lot of people. And I think people should they should really get involved. What do you think, Cowboy?
Well, yeah, I don't. I'm so jaded that this is not something that surprises me. I didn't hold out any hope. I held out for a little bit of the white hat shit back in 2020, and after that, it's like, okay, well, maybe it plays out, maybe it doesn't. We're gonna do what we can to, fight, do the truth, whatever, right? And I think they want us to give up. And I think this is in part, a way to get us to give up. So if you're just going to be like, oh, it's fucked, and I'm not going to do anything about it, I think you're falling into their trap. That's what I think. I think there's plenty to do. I think that what they're doing with the millions and millions of people that they've put into our country through a very open border, especially during Biden, is probably full of operatives that we need to get rid of. I think that, we're working on that. And there are unfortunately some casualties in that operation of getting rid of people. But, I think we need to continue as best we can because, sure, maybe you can afford to get out and go to some other country, right? We got a lot of people that don't have those assets. What about those people? You know, I mean, I don't mind like fighting from some other country. That's fine. But to be honest, I'm pretty sure things are getting better here. I think that Epstein was a non-starter. I think that there either wasn't a list in the first place, or there's never going to be a list to be let out. Or if the list was possibly going to be let out, it was used as a threat. And all the things I said before. It's kind of like like Clinton. Hillary Clinton had all that dirt on so many people. She had so much dirt on so many people that if all of that got out, the system would just fall apart. So I think if I think people really were holding out hope, right? But I think we need to exercise a little pragmatism. And if you look at the wins we've had and the last year or so, especially going back to September, I think letting a thing like this trip us up and, make us stop fighting, whether we get upset or not, I think that's a mistake. I think becoming despondent and giving up on the fight is a mistake. And I think that was the plan, at least in part. So if you all want to fall for it, I mean, I can lead you to water, but I can't make you drink. We're just going to give up. Is that what we're going to do? Right? Is that what we want? Do we want to just throw in the towel? Oh, they didn't, let my fantasy list exist, or they didn't throw out the list, but that they would never be able to throw out because every single person involved would have their throat slit all the way up to the president. Really? Did you think they were going to let that out? Did you honestly? I never did. I never thought they'd let that list out in full. No way. Too many important people. That's just not the way the world works, man. I'm a bit more of a pragmatist. I'm not happy about it.
Yeah.
But we got to.
The fight goes on. It just shows you we cannot trust anything the fucking government puts out there. The fight goes on.
Yeah, we can't trust what. Look in the news. How do you know that? Like, I don't know. I've never seen Pam Bondi. Does she exist? Is she AI? Like, we don't know anything.
Yeah.
We know nothing. So at this point, just fucking fight, man. Just keep going. Or not. Retreat. If you want to retreat, that's on you.
And the fight goes on. That's what it is. The fight goes on. It's like we need real political reform. We can't be sitting by and be like, oh, the good guys have it. You're going to talk 20D chess. Man, hell with that. It's time people get engaged. It's time that we run for office. It's time that we put our skin in the game. I'm telling you right now, this whole mom.
Hold on a minute, GD. I was joking. I know she's real. I'm using it as an example. Calm down. Yeah. Go ahead, V.
I know like that whole Mom Donnie thing made me think. I was like, dude, like why can't we run for office at where we live? And I think it should be done. I think we need to seriously engage with these people. We need to expose them. We need to chase them out, man. We need to chase them out. So that's what I got to say. Anyway, folks, we're at the end of the show. There is no list. We've all been, lied to. We all heard it wrong. An absolute travesty and miscarriage of justice is what I call this whole Jeffrey Epstein thing. And I'll tell you right now, all it does is pisses me off in a big way. So let's see where we go from here. But we are all going to move from here. We're all going to move forward from here. And the only solution we have is to keep going forward. And that's it. Cowboy, any last things you want to say?
No, man. I appreciate it. I'm good.
Yeah. And with that being said, folks, we're at the end of the show. We'll be back tomorrow. Keep it locked and loaded right here. Rogue News. Take it away, Cowboy.